Hi, I'm Brittany Harrison, broker associate with Shorewood Real Estate SoCo, and today I'm taking you to one of the most iconic places in Colorado Springs, Garden of the Gods Park. Situated 6,400 feet above sea level, the famous rock formations of Garden of the Gods perfectly frame America's mountain, Pikes Peak, and serve as the connecting place where cultures collide and the plains meet the pinyon-juniper woodlands of the American Southwest. So how did these incredible rock formations come to be? Thousands of years ago, what is now the state of Colorado used to be covered with water. Sediment at the bottom of this immense sea hardened over time into sandstone and limestone with red and white horizontal stripes. The dramatic geological event that pushed Pikes Peak 14,115 feet into the sky toppled these rocks over onto their side. They were later further carved by glaciers during the Pleistocene Ice Age into the majestic formations we see here today.
Before me lies a highway, and behind me lies a lie.
As you can see on this white formation behind me, the rocks actually still bear the ripples of the ancient sea that formed them. Here in the park, they found seashells, fossils, and even shark tooth fossils, a sign of the place's aqueous past.
But the winds are at my back.
The Garden of the Gods has long been sacred. Native peoples from the Apache, Cheyenne, Comanche, Kiowa, Lakota, Pawnee, Shoshone, and Ute tribes were all known to travel these lands. Despite their differences, Garden of the Gods was considered a holy place of peace that was respected by all nations. The Ute in particular are tied to this land. The Utes' creation story claims they were born in the mountains and have been here since the beginning of time. This is supported by archaeological evidence that shows prehistoric people visiting the garden as early as 1330 BCE. Interestingly, the Ute is the only native tribe in the Americas whose early stories don't include travel to their land. Early European settlers knew this site as Red Rock Corral. In 1859, two surveyors were sent to set up what is now Old Colorado City, and they decided to take a day to visit the park. M.S. Beach had spent some time in German beer gardens and stated this would be a, quote, capital place for a beer garden, end quote. His partner, Rufus Cable, retorted, the place was fit for the gods, and thus the name Garden of the Gods.
And my sails don't seem to give sign. Let the birds fly north.
When William Jackson Palmer founded Colorado Springs in 1871, he convinced his friend Charles Eliot Perkins to purchase 280 acres, then known as the Garden of the Gods. Palmer had already donated more than 1,000 acres of his land to become public city parkland. Perkins, too, was a generous benefactor with his property, regularly allowing public access to its beauty. After Perkins purchased another 240 acres connected to Garden of the Gods, he expressed interest in leaving it as his legacy. Upon his death, Perkins' heirs deeded the 480-acre Garden of the Gods to the city of Colorado Springs in 1909. Their only stipulation was that it remain free to the entire world. Attracting more than 6 million visitors per year from all 50 states and more than 60 countries, the Garden of the Gods continues to observe Perkins' dream of free and public access for everyone. If you plan to visit Garden of the Gods Park, remember that it's located in a high plains desert that's slow to return when damaged. Please stay on all trails and observe leave no trace practices so that this incredible park can continue to be enjoyed by future generations. Thank you for taking the time to explore Garden of the Gods with me today. If you're interested in learning more about why I love where I live, you can check out my blog on my website, www.brittanyharrisoncos.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at brittanyharrison.cos. If after watching this video, you want to move to Colorado Springs, or you're looking for a new home here in our city, I would love to help you and be a partner in your journey. Until next time, I'm Brittany Harrison, broker associate with Shorewood Real Estate SoCo. In recognition of and respect for the first inhabitants of this land, I leave you with this Ute prayer. Treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children. We do not inherit the land from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children.